So today we'll be talking about structs. So what are structs? Structs are the user-defined data types. It is actually known as a structure, but we call it struct as a keyword. So now we'll be defining one struct and putting some values for it. Let's go for it. Struct. First the keyword you have to write. Then you can write as a customer. This is the keyword out here for struct, and this is what we'll call the data type as. So now let's think what we can put in this struct. We can put the address or the bank address of this customer and the amount he is having in the bank. So let's do it. So we'll be having an address type. Let's put it as add and a UN type amount. Let's put it as AMT. So here we have a structure. So now we'll define this structure by writing first the data type we have mentioned. So this is a new data type, customer, user defined data type. So customer, let's put it as public, and then let's say fund. So we have declared a variable of the user defined data type we have just created. Now let's start by initializing it with something. So we'll write a function, simple function with the function name. Let's say change. Next we'll make it public. Now we'll access this by a dot operator. So just write first the identifier of the new data type and the new variable we have created, fund dot add, which is the address, equal to, let's give it some address from here. We'll copy the first address, paste it. Next, fund dot amount. We'll give it 25. So here we have everything ready and all set. Let's deploy it. Okay, we have it ready and deployed. Let's check fund. So here we are having the address, which is all set to 0, and the amount is also 0, which is how it is basically initialized. Now we'll hit the change, which will change the values, and we'll call this function. And next, fund. Is it transacted? Yeah. So now you can see the first account D9A is out here and the amount is 25. So this is how structs work. So now I'm going to tell you about arrays. Arrays are a basic part of all the programming languages. You can store many values of the same data type in an array. So now how to declare it? Let's go for a simple type as uint and then put square brackets equal to, the type of access specifier it is, like the visibility, and then the name of the array. Let's call it as ARR. So here we have a simple array. You are supposed to declare the array with the data type like this. You will put square brackets not at the identifier but at the data type. So here you have this array ready. Now we'll make a very simple function to access the elements and change the elements. So we'll write it as function. Let's call it as change array, change ARR. Okay. then public, the visibility, and then how to access this. As of now, this array is basically a dynamically allocated array. So this array is basically having a dynamic size. But if you write out here 3, then this will have a static type or a fixed size array. So let's go for the dynamic first, with as it is most used. So this is the dynamic array and how to access it. So we'll be writing the identifier name ARR dot, then push and the value. So there are two functions in the array. One is the push function and one is the pop function. The push will put elements inside the array, whereas the pop will take out the elements outside of the array. So now we'll push, let's say 12. So all set. Now we'll just go for a deployed. Let's open this. Okay, so let's start with 0th index element. Here you can see there is an error. Why there is error? Because this array right now is having 0 length. As I've told you, it will be dynamically taking the size as and when we push some elements or pop some elements. So for now it is 0. Let's click on change array and now check this value. So now we have this 12. Now the array size is basically 12. So that is how this works. Let's make it a bit of change out here. We'll take the input from the user. Let's say uint and y. Any variable you can take and put it out here. Let's say y. Now we'll deploy it. Okay, successfully deployed. Now again you can see there's nothing out here. Now we'll call the change array function with a value 48, say. Okay, transaction done. Next. Yes, we can see 48 now. So in that we have seen about the dynamic arrays. Now we'll see about the fixed type of arrays. So basically fixed type out here, you have to mention the size. Let's take an array of 3. So in this 3 elements can be there. So in that there will be index from 0, 1 and 2. From 0 to 2. So 0, 1, 2. Now this will show you an error. So what you need to do now, how to access this? You can access this directly by the index. So let's access the first element, the second element which has the index 1 and give it the value y. Okay, so now we'll deploy it. Now we'll see that now if you put the index, you will get the value as 0 because we have initialized 3 elements with 0. You can put it as 1 also and check. Same, even for 2. But it will show an error for the third one because we don't have that much size. It will exceed the size. So let's keep it till 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so now we can change this by calling this function. We'll put it as 12. Let's call this. It shows pending. Okay, the transaction is done. Now you check this value of the first index in our array. So you can see it is 12. So that means this value is changed. So here we have the fixed size of array. And more about the theory in the next theory class which I have attached with this.